Despite different types of professions,
both Korean pop idols and Olympians ultimately perform on world stages.
both go through rigorous training, get cherry-picked at a young age, and carry a mission to compete and gain spotlight. But what many don't see is one main difference that makes the biggest impact on the individual's life, idol or Olympian. It's not just the number of eyes, but how frequently they are surveillanced, watched, and criticized that make these two professions remarkably different for the K-pop idol and Olympian.
So our focus for this video will be that pop idols have a greater impact in representing Korean culture in the world than that of Olympians, placing their personal lives under constant criticism and surveillance. Now, there are three main similarities between Olympians and Korean pop idols in order to become a nationalistic sensation. They have similar stages of life, strict daily regime, and hold high risks in becoming successful in their profession, whether that's the opportunity to compete and win, or perform on a stage and become an idol sensation. Now, idols spend countless training at a very young age, averaging to about 5 years, building up stamina in singing and dancing, and also go through monthly evaluations to get critiqued. It is through this that idols seem so perfectly packaged before going public.
Olympians, on the other hand, even when picked at a young age, get rigorous training through fitness activities but only specialize in a sport at an age of 13. As much as idols and Olympians alike are humans, their daily regime is no doubt packaged with intense schedules of training and a strict diet. Similarly to the risks that their profession holds, K-pop idols tend to sign contracts with no guarantee of debut, and athletes have to perform even when they are not in their best condition. In an article by SBS Pop Asia HQ, quote, "On average, there are around 300 K-pop groups preparing to debut each year. Of those 300, about 50 actually managed to debut, and from that 50, only 1 or 2 managed to gain any serious recognition and success in their first year." End quote. Despite these similarities, there are major differences as to the publicity of these nationalistic gems. Representing a nation requires time and effort to not disappoint. All eyes are on the Olympian at a specific point of time while the country is competing. However, once they win their medal, or fail to win, they become a normal civilian, whereas a K-pop idol would be scrutinized 24/7. Even ex-idols get coverage. Meanwhile, people can relate to idols. Similarly, this is how they appeal to their audience and succeed, but a narrower group would relate to Olympians. Olympians don't need you to like them, they just need to perform well.
For those of you not yet convinced, let's take you through a comparison. Although both K-pop idols and Olympic athletes appear on news channels, social media, and are covered online, especially when there is a new release of a song or a medal was won, there's a huge difference in what is covered about the individual and how often, how many news parties publish content about the individuals. We can see how there is a difference in the frequency and type of coverage between K-pop idols and Olympians by taking an example. AOA is a South Korean girl group that debuted under FNC's Entertainment with 8 members that have gained popularity over the last 5 years. One of the 8 girls of AOA is Kim Seon. She is known for her beauty, and since debuting with her girl group, she's taken on acting roles in television dramas as well. In an average day, there's approximately 10 news articles on Seon alone on Naver, a Korean search engine. There are mild fluctuations depending on if she made an appearance in a music video or made a performance on stage, but there's still a steady number of views of news coverage on Seon since her debut in 2012. These news spotlights are not just about her singing, dancing, or acting capabilities. Actually, they're majorly about her striking outfit, beautiful physique, and most invasively, her dating life. For example, Seon's personal dating life became a national topic when Zico and Seon had been known to be dating since March, secretly without the public knowing, and then a report in August broke open their relationship scandal, went public, and they broke up a month after it was announced, as there was too much attention from fans. Zico then released a song right after their breakup, and their relationship was questioned publicly on national shows like Radio Star. This shows how news coverage on a K-pop idol, such as AOA's Hyun, creates such a national buzz and gossip And now let's look at a comparison to an Olympic athlete. A South Korean Olympic athlete, Chung Hyejin, was born in 1987, very similar to the age of Seung-Ah, only a difference of 7. Despite this difference, they are both South Korean females that made their debut between 2012 and 2014. In 2014, Chung Hyejin first received spotlight when she won gold with her team in the women's recurve team event at the Incheon Asian Games. Her name became renowned when she was victorious at the 2016 International Summer Olympics in Rio, snagging the gold medal in the women's team archery event. With this victory, Hyejin appeared on a few news channels announcing South Korea's win to the nation. However, these were such small in comparison to the news coverage on Seoreon. Chung Hyejin, she only appeared on where she was making public announcements versus private photos taken of her during her daily routine. Another great point to underline is that articles on Olympic coverage focus on the political implications rather than the athletes' training or excitement for the Olympics leading up to the performance. For example, here we can see for the upcoming 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics that will be held next year, that there is only news articles about the Olympics and the political implications versus the actual individual Olympic athletes themselves.
Why is there this difference in news coverage? Why do K-pop idols need to be so careful with every word and step they take, while Olympic athletes, after their competition, can lead a normal life? The one reason is because K-pop idols and Olympians are successful based on different standards. K-pop is a mix of dance and style that must be unique or tailored to certain audience preferences to succeed. For example, 21 and Girls' Generation are both girl groups, but they present themselves differently with a different composition into fan base. Secondly, surveillance by fans and news coverage means that even if you don't intend to, you're representing Korean culture at all times to the international eyes, while the Olympics is able to really handpick what represents Korea in its displays and opening ceremony performances, which in the past have attempted to showcase traditional Korean culture or modern hybrids of it.
As Joelle Lee mentioned, K-pop is identified as part of the brand, quote, South Korea, which is a globally competitive product without encumbrance of traditional Korea, end quote. How they are seen to the world is important as seen through reports on legal disputes between K-pop groups and agencies. As discussed by Epstein and Turnbull, articles like these focus on the effect on, quote, Korean assertions of brand nationalism, end quote, rather than the legal suit or controversial labor structure. Olympics seem to be higher in political focus and national pride, creating collectivism within the country, while K-pop creates collectivism outside of the country. Joelle Lee is also arguing that, quote, K-pop is symptomatic of the cultural transformation of South Korea, end quote. Similarly, the cultural identity has changed due to political factors in the past. Ono and Kwon argued that, quote, between 1920 and 1945, the identity of these people were formed in opposition to Japanese authority. In between the 1970s and the 1980s, the identity of the people was formed against the authoritarian regime. And from around 1987, the identity of citizens was formed in support of the democratic system. Because of all of these political changes, young intellectuals have produced subgenres of Korean pop music as an alternative to the Western-style popular music cultures existing within Korea, end quote, that are contributing now to the cultural national identity.
If you haven't been paying attention, here's 3 main takeaways.
1. There are similarities between Korean pop idols and Olympians.
But 2, they're covered differently on the news. Why? Because they represent South Korea 24/7.
And that's that. Thanks for watching.
Woo!